they say, a bullet gang keeps the doctors away. Look at what UPS just dropped off for me. Holy crap, this thing is heavy. So this right here is a brand new exhaust system from AWE, the newest sponsor for the FRS build. And you guys are probably wondering, Derek, doesn't the FRS already have an exhaust on it? It sure does, but there's one thing about it I absolutely hate. Well, I loved it before, but now I hate it. Just listen to how loud this thing is. Oh my freaking God. This exhaust drones quite a bit when I'm driving the car. Like, I could barely hear my brain think. I could barely talk to the person next to me. So I think it's time to change it up, boys. I have been searching for the proper exhaust that sounds great and isn't as loud as this one. And I think the new AWE is the perfect one for the car. Interesting packaging. I've never seen stuff like this before. Oh, we're finally getting to it. This is something I've never ran in my life, a resonator. And then of course, we got two small mufflers for the exhaust. I actually can't remember the last time I had mufflers on any of my cars that are actually this big. But don't be scared, guys, it's still gonna sound good. Apparently these mufflers sound really good and it takes out all the raspiness and makes the car sound a lot deeper. And that's exactly what we're going for. We want the quality sound and not just loud. I'm guessing inside this box are the exhaust tips. Let's find out. Oh my God. Dude, look at the size of these. Oh my God. These are freaking massive, bro. And I did go ahead and pick the gloss black because I've been rocking with burnt tips or polished tips for the longest. And I've never had black tips. So we had to switch things up and get these for the FRS. But dude, I'm not lying. Look at the size of this. It's damn near the size of my head for these exhaust tips. You know what? Before I install the exhaust, it's only right that I give you guys a few revs so that we can have a proper comparison between the current BRZ RS Catback and the new AWE Touring Catback. And of course, I have to move my car further down the road because I don't want all my neighbors over there to absolutely hate me. Well, they kind of already do. Okay, maybe hate me a little less. I'm fine with that. I told y'all the car was loud. All right, let's go ahead and move this car into the garage and get right into this install. Thankfully, I've already installed a bunch of exhaust systems on the FRS, so it's pretty familiar to me, and they are insanely easy to do. It's only like 4 bolts and then a few hangers, and then it literally pops right out. So no joke, this install should take us about 30 minutes max, unless some bolts are rusty. Then we might have an issue. But here's a look at everything that came with the AWE Touring Catback. Of course, you get your little axle back right there, 2 mufflers, 2 exhaust tips, your mid pipe right here that comes in 2 sections, and then a bag of clamps. Pretty basic install compared to other cars like the BMW. I already know when I put an exhaust in that car, it's gonna be a nightmare because it's valves, so that means valves will be involved, wiring will be involved, so a bunch of stuff that's not on the FRS. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and jack up the car and get this thing up in the air. So this is the current exhaust system I have on the car. It's the BRZ RS Race. And this thing is basically a full straight pipe all the way up to the front pipe. The only muffler is right here. But as you can see, it's not really much of a muffler. It's almost the same size as the exhaust tip. So there's literally no noise restriction at all, which is why it's super raspy. And then if you look on this side, without the exhaust, we still have the hangers on there. So the install should be super easy on this side as well. And this thing is super easy to remove. You just have to remove those 2 bolts connecting into the front pipe up there. Remove these 2 bolts and then remove the hangers from the sides. 1 bolt out. 2 bolts out. Gotta hit the hangers with some WD-40 so it's easier to come off. Just nuke that hoe. There we go, boys. Say goodbye to the old exhaust. And just like that, we got the old catback completely removed. So I've noticed that a lot of my viewers have been asking me, Derek, I really want to get into cars. I really want to learn how to work on my cars, how to build them, how to do maintenance work, anything car related. I want to learn. What's the best way to learn? Well, for me, the thing that really worked for me is by doing it myself. When it comes to working on cars, it's all trial and error and learning how to do things through the internet. But for me, it took quite a bit of trial and error because the only resource I had was YouTube and reading countless of hours on the forums. And so to be honest, that wasn't really time efficient for me. Luckily for you guys, there is a new way to learn how to build your own cars that's a lot more efficient. Which brings us to today's sponsor, Tinker. Tinker is an app that's geared towards automotive enthusiasts that wants to work on their cars but may not have all the proper skills or knowledge to get the job done. So this is where Tinker steps in. Let's say you're working on your car and there's a question or you're stuck and you don't know what to do. All you have to do is open the app and you can actually chat one-on-one with a mechanic that actually knows what they're doing and they'll walk you through every step of the way. It's like having a best friend that's a mechanic that's there for you whenever you need it. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's way easier to learn when I have a one-on-one guide instead of just reading directions that's made to the mass. This way, it's personalized just for you. Trust me, guys, it's not just for beginners because I have been working on cars since I was 16. I am 24 now. And I still have questions every single time I do an install. To be honest, if you guys are a veteran mechanic, this app still will help you because there's always gonna be things that you don't know that you have questions about. So it's always nice to have the Tinker app handy whenever you do need it. So go ahead and head to the App Store and download the app today and try it out. All right, time to get back to this exhaust install. Here's a better side-by-side comparison between the two exhausts. So right away, you can see the resonator right there versus this, literally just straight. It's pretty much the same right after the resonator until it gets to the axle back. And this is where you see just the one muffler right there versus this goes straight to the middle and it diverts into 2 exits and each side has its own muffler and its own exhaust tips. And thankfully with this exhaust, it doesn't use the flange like that one for the middle of the exhaust. It actually slides right into each other and then they provide you with the clamp to clamp it down so you don't have to worry about an exhaust leak when you do have a bad exhaust gasket. It's the small little things that matter. All right, boys, it's time to slap in the new AWE exhaust. You guys like this technique right now? One knee holding the exhaust, and then this piece should just slide right in. Don't forget the hangers. We're gonna leave the clamps loose for now until we get everything fitted up. Now we have the big ass muffler. And here's the last piece to the puzzle. Aw, dude, this is gonna look so freaking sick. Let's say I wanted the tips to stick out a little bit further. I can adjust them to. Literally every single exhaust system should have this feature. We gotta say goodbye to the sparkle toe strap. This thing has been on the car since I had the blue Widebody FRS. That's gotta be like 3-4 years ago. You will be missed. All right, boys, just wrapped up the install. We went back and tightened everything and we got the exhaust tip sitting perfectly. It sticks out just the proper amount, not too much, but not too little. Dude, this is gonna look so freaking sick when it's back on the ground. Look at that. Oh, back to the double exit life. You guys know what time it is? It's time for a freaking cold start with the new exhaust. Bro, I got so scared because that startup was a little gnarly. Since the car was super cold, it was extra loud. But as you can tell, it toned down quite a bit when it's a tiny bit warmed up. And the exhaust tone is actually a lot deeper, which was exactly what we were going for. And not to mention, we're also in my garage as well, so it's gonna sound a lot louder than it's actually gonna be when it's outside. All right, let's go ahead and put this thing on the ground, pull it out so we can get some rev clips. Okay, not gonna lie, so far it sounds super good. It's loud, but the thing is, it's a good loud. Like, it's nice and deep. Before, it was super raspy. We got the car at the end of the block so we could do a proper comparison for you guys in the same place. I really hope this thing sounds good. Dude, this thing sounds so freaking sick. I have to set you guys up on a tripod so you guys can actually hear this thing. I'm not gonna even lie to you guys, when I saw the mufflers, I thought that this exhaust would make the car so much more quiet to the point where I might not enjoy it anymore, but I think, guys, it made it the perfect tone and kept the loudness as well. So the only thing we have to check now is to drive it around and see if there's any drone, because if we have no drone, then we might have found the perfect exhaust for the FRS BRZ 86 chassis. All right, let's get the FRS mic'd up and take it for a spin. There's a perfect road right down the street from my house in Mexico that I'm gonna take you guys to. Has a whole bunch of windy roads and has some straightaways we could do a bunch of pulls on. So hopefully we can capture some nice exhaust notes and maybe some turbo noises too, because I threw a mic under the hood as well. Dude, this thing sounds super good so far. We'll do a little baby pull right here. And this blow-off valve is godly. It sounds so good. And I'm not sure if it's placebo, but I swear, since the exhaust is quieter now, I can hear the blow-off valve even more. First pull, boys. Oh my god, this thing sounds so good. I hope you guys can hear the blow-off valve. This exhaust, so far already so much freaking deeper. That was a tunnel. Alright, here's a little second gear pull for you guys. Dude, I love how this thing sounds now. You guys ever sit at a stoplight and just... It's like music to my ears. Coming up on a tunnel, but there's traffic. This is one of the things I hate about living in the city. Wherever you go, there's traffic. Like, it's so hard to find a back road you can actually drive without running into traffic. So I always end up having to go like 30-40 minutes out of the city to find an actual good road to drive on. So far the drone is very minimal, huge improvement. Exhaust note is nice and deep. I guess this catback really toned down all the raspiness, which was exactly what I was looking for. All right, so overall, I give this exhaust a solid 9.5 out of 10. The only thing that would make it a little bit better is if the exhaust was just a tiny bit quieter. I still feel like the exhaust is still on the loud side, but that might be because I have catless front pipes. So I might switch over to resonated front pipes to see if I can tame the sound a little bit more. That was a fun little drive. I hope you guys can hear that. Can you guys hear my airlift struts? I'm pretty sure the bushing on them are going out because it's starting to like clunk. I just got a chance to check out the footage. Fire, absolutely fire. The audio sounded so good. Dude, the turbo noise was absolutely insane. And don't worry, I'm not gonna gatekeep. I'll put you guys on how I got the audio so good. Oh, fuck, that's a wasp. I almost got fucking stung. I bought the DJI wireless mics and it comes in this little carrying case right here. All you have to do is open it up, take out the mic, and these things are magnetic, so they'll just stick to any part of the car that's metal. And so I threw one under the hood right by the blowout valve, and then for the exhaust I took one and I literally just put it on the trunk like that, and it stayed on the entire time, even though we weren't even driving the car gentle. So definitely a good product. I'd highly recommend. But now I definitely got to do something about the suspension, because the airless struts are going bad on me and they're not comfortable at all anymore. So it might be time to switch to coilovers for the FRS. So guys, I think it might be time to say goodbye to the bagged life. I don't think I need to air out the car anymore. All I want is to have the car driving nice. And so we're gonna switch back to coilovers. I've had the bags on the car for like 4 years now. And as I get older, the only thing I care about with my cars is basically drivability, because before it used to be about show, used to be about camber, used to be about making a hot boy spec car. But the thing is, when you make a hot boy spec car, you never drive the car, which is why I never drove the FRS. And that's the whole point of me owning the cars, is to be able to have fun and drive the cars. And at the same time, we gotta throw the sway bars back on, because the car does not have any sway bars. Ever since I had like negative 10 degrees of camber on that thing, I took it out. So we gotta toss that back in. All right, boys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video right here. Let me know what you guys think about the new exhaust system on the FRS. Did you guys like the Greddy more, or do you guys like the new AWE Touring Catback more? And huge thank you to AWE once again for sending over their Catback to revive the FRS. And like always, go down below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and smash that notification bell to stay up to date with all the videos that we're about to pump out. We have so much content incoming, and trust me, you guys won't want to miss it. All right, boys, until next time, peace out.